Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Brewsday Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's time for Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's Drez and Big Nate.
It says it's a twist, but there it goes. Brewsday Tuesday, dry Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. Although they're not bringing the dryness, that's self-inflicted. They actually have
They didn't
beer
do that
down
to
there.
us.
They actually have beer down there.
Mikey's nicer than that.
Yeah, so we have beer today. Root beer show is what we are doing, which I am a fan of root beer. I don't drink too much of it very often. I'm not a big soda person. To me, I don't know. I don't really do it anymore. It's not worth it. But this is going to be an interesting show. We were talking just before we opened up the mics. I'm going to have a sugar rush because soda, again, I'm not used to drinking it. And I just noticed that what is this? Sprincher fine crafted, fire brewed craft soda. It says it is your root beer made with honey, but it says it's 260 calories in a bottle. No fat, which is good. Sodium carbs, we got 65 grams of carbs. And then we get to the sugars, 51 grams of sugar, which if you look at the daily value, that is over 102% of your daily value. So if I drink this bottle, then I've already had more sugar than I should have.
How many? Yeah. How many ounces is that bottle? Because they do
16 ounces, 33% more,
they make
16 versus 12.
proper pint bottles, which I kind of love. You don't often find that in soda. I've got the Dr. Brown's draft style root beer blended for full bodied flavor. 170 calories. Oh, buddy. 10 milligrams of sodium, which is apparently 1% of my daily value. The sugar or the carbs, 42 grams, 15% of the daily value. Total sugar is 42 grams. I won't be over, but I'll be damn close my sugar for the day. It's at 84% with that 42 grams.
We'll both be over by the
end of it, we'll be over. But man, I do love root beer.
This is my other problem with root beer. I just pour this and I chug it's
so easy to drink.
All sodas, I just down it because you have a sip and you just want more and more. So I chug. I just chug soda, which is terrible.
I mean,
absolutely terrible.
We've talked about it before. That would probably be the thing I would have a harder time giving up than beer is soda. And I do love a good root beer. In fact, that was the genesis for like my real love of root beer was just coming out of college and I was working a job and I was drinking beer a lot. I was still drinking like I was in college and didn't have a care in the world. And I was like, man, I gotta dial this back. So I had switched to root beer, and I probably did gain quite a few pounds doing that. But I was drinking root beer more than I was ever drinking regular beer, and it was like, okay, so now I've got to dial back my root beer problem.
Well, like how many a day?
I mean, it wasn't like a daily thing. It was more like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. And I would go through like a 6-pack a day. It was not healthy.
So you seriously just swapped. So when usually your typical drinking day is the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, instead of drinking beer, you switched to root beer. And why was that again? Because
I was hitting that point where I was like starting to get hangovers and just not, it was a weird shift anyway. And sometimes I'd get called into the job and so, well, can't take these hours because I've been drinking.
I've had a couple beers. Okay, well, yeah, because in my mind, I would think it's probably healthier to drink a 6-pack than to drink a regular beer 100%. Than to drink a 6-pack of root beer.
That was kind of the point I was circling around to. Is it definitely is better for you to actually have like craft beer.
Yeah.
But this is delicious.
So that being said, this does say it's fire brewed craft soda. Now, this root beer actually came from that what's it called? The World Grocery Store or whatever over there in Blacksburg. Yeah, BB found this one. She's like, "Oh, I found a root beer. I got it for you for your dry January show." So that's where this one came from. That one is actually from my buddy's spot in downtown Blacksburg, the Not Your Mama's Pizza. That's right below our studios over there. And Remember I crashed his
Yeah, the holiday party?
the office party. Did we talk about that on
Yeah.
here, or was that on We're Off the Air?
that I think that was on the podcast.
Yeah.
We're Off the Air podcast.
By the way, we might as well plug it here. We have started a, I guess, sort of cluster wide podcast with the talent. So it's us, it's JT, so it's all the Bear guys, and then we also got Curtis from our country station. We started doing just sort of like I guess what are they, about an hour, give or take,
Yeah.
once a week. It's on our website. I just noticed today that it was on the website. So
Yes, right
it's-
there at the top in the menu.
it is there. We've been doing it for the last month or two, so you can catch up on some episodes. But very interestingly enough, most recently, Nate and JT did a foot race to see who could run the mile the fastest. So I won't do any spoilers if you want to hear.
Or listen to the podcast.
It was very entertaining. So you can go back and listen to all those.
And to get the full saga on that, you probably need to listen to the first episode and the most recent. I mean, you can listen.
No,
you should listen to them
listen
all.
chronologically and really listen to the buildup and the
It devolves into madness.
cancellations of, oh, I can't do it now because of this. I can't do it now. But it does finally happen. So if you do go back and listen to it from the beginning, you will get an idea of the buildup. And it does finally happen. For weeks, I didn't think it was actually going to happen.
There is a conclusion.
Yes, there is indeed. So that's called We're Off the Air. I guess you can get it wherever you do some podcasting and stuff. And it is on our website. I just noticed that earlier today. So, but what I was getting at was, I guess when on Off the Air, that sounds funny. I mentioned how over Christmas break, we somehow, I think it was Christmas. No, it wasn't Christmas Eve. It was the weekend before when my family, my cousins and stuff were in town. But we went there for dinner. And then he was like, oh, tomorrow we're having our office party. You guys should come. And we're like, really? He's like, yeah, please do, actually. I was like, we'd be rolling deep. He's like, that's totally fine. So we did. And we just partied in there like crazy. And he gave me, he had the Dr. Browns. He also had some other, like the Wild Bills and all that sort of stuff. He's got all that fun, nice, crafty sodas as well. It's nice beer and food, of course.
Craft soda is something that's underappreciated, but during the Prohibition, that kind of kept a lot of people in business. I mean, root beer that's when it really came to prominence, and then you have sodas like a Dr. Pepper and stuff. But the thing I find really interesting is if you remember before White Claw, everyone was trying to get into the like Not Your Father's root beer and the alcoholic sodas. Have you ever done root beer with rum in it?
I would think so, because
That's
I do like root beer.
Absolutely one of my favorites. If I'm not
that's
having
gotta
bourbon,
be
I
good.
love rum and root beer. It's so good.
Oh, that's got to be delicious. But you brought up Not Your Father's root beer, and I want to say in the promo teasers that we recorded for this show, I think we said we haven't done root beer, but maybe we have done the Not Your Father's. I love, or at least I loved it. Now I feel like it's too much sugar, probably. But
Do they even still make it? I feel like
yeah, I feel like I've seen it.
I feel like White Claw came
Crushed
in
that.
and then just
Well,
now it's all seltzers.
Oh no, because they still got all those twisted teas and stuff that have been around
Yes.
for a long time, and the Mike's Hard Lemonade, that's not going anywhere. But Not Your Father's, man, I love that stuff because it's ties together my two favorite things, which is
Their-
root beer and alcohol.
Their orange soda was really good.
And not your orange soda.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know they did that.
I like orange soda. I don't. It's one of those. I only ever have it when my sister comes to town because it's her favorite soda. I don't usually seek it out for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But there
What
was
a treat!
Yeah, we're really balling out here having orange soda, and it's got to be the orange Fanta. That's the only one she'll drink. And if you tried Crush, it's delicious.
Crush is good, and Sunkissed.
Yeah.
That was always class. But yeah, orange soda and then grape soda, man. I remember that was my go-to when I was in elementary school. When you go to the vending machines, I used to love getting a grape soda. When was the last time you had a grape soda?
There's a Chinese restaurant that delivers to our house, and I don't know what it is, but every time you order and they deliver, they'll throw in like a soda as a special treat.
Mm.
The last time they delivered to our house was the last time I had a grape soda, and it was completely happenstance because you don't get to pick the soda; they just
They
bring
just
it.
give you one
I was
something.
like, grape soda is a bold choice, but I'm all in on this.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to love those back. When of course now they have that. There's that evil twin. They have the grape and orange, which just taste straight up like orange and grape soda. Which I did go. I mean, I've had quite a few of those. They might still have them over there at the cellar. That's where I got them when they had them. But now I don't know if have you been to the cellar, the six pack store recently?
Not in 2024.
Okay, so you haven't seen it, but I went in there and the shelves are a little bare, and so I asked Mikey what was going on, and I guess they're actually going to be sort of downsizing the six-pack store a bit, and like kind of half of that area is going to be tables now, and then the six-pack store will be more in the back. So yeah, they're making some changes over there, but I am told that they are still going to be selling beer, but he hasn't ordered anything new really lately because they're trying to like, make space and room
Maneuvering.
and whatnot. Yeah. So FYI. But yeah, the root beer is a good go-to. I don't know how we're gonna rate these. Mine's already gone. Yours is too. Like I said,
So damn good.
it goes down. It's I would think of the Will Ferrell quote from Old School. Once it hits your lips, it's so good. You can just down it, man.
And root beer is one of those things. I don't know. I can't think of a time I've had a root beer and not been like, damn, this is delicious.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard for me to score this.
See, and I
It's
made
gonna, I mean, it's gonna be a 5. It just
all
is.
root beers are so good. And in fact, I kind of was sinking out the little bit lesser knowns. Like I didn't get any Barks or A&W, the ones that everybody knows. Do you have a good, like, what's your kind of go-to root beer?
My go-to is the IBC in the bottles. I
Yeah,
love the IBC.
IBC.
But now they've downgraded from 6-packs to 4-packs. You can only get them in 4-packs now,
Interesting.
which is weird, unless there's a store I'm missing. But I also like their cream soda a lot.
Well, now, and I remember, because isn't most root beer, isn't it caffeine free?
Yes.
Except for, isn't Barks the one that does have caffeine? So now I'm curious about these ones because I don't know if they would have it or not. The craftier, I don't see anything that says anything about caffeine. So, and if it does have caffeine, they would have to put that on the nutrition label, right?
They would have to.
So caffeine free, this Sprecher. Yeah, this is going to be hard to rate. I mean, I guess we can say, maybe I'll just use this as my baseline, and then we can say which ones we liked more or less. But
All right.
all right. Well, the next round is going to be interesting because I did happen to find, when I was beer shopping, some root beers that are from renowned breweries. So they're
I'm
actual.
excited to see what they do with
They're
that
actual
style.
like breweries. So you will know these names and these companies. And I've had numerous beers from each of them, and this will be their root beer. NA root beer. I did double check that, of course. So we'll give those ones a go. It is our 4th and next to last dry January. We're almost done. We're in the home stretch.
We almost should have saved this one for last.
Yeah,
This is so good.
yeah, it is pretty good. But I have another show for that. So we'll take a quick break. We'll play a tune. We'll come back and drink more root beer on a dry Brewsday Tuesday right here with 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.